Happy Monday, people. Welcome to week 3 of quarantine. I know it feels like week 30 for us here. It is the 30th of March, and we're starting a new week of this stuff. We are like overwhelmed with how awesome our participation has been on Zoom and your logging of workouts on SugarWOD. Just an amazing community that we have, really sticking through this through thick and thin, and we're so pumped to still be bringing you workouts weekly and being excited and pumped on them. So here we go again. A little more kind of foreshadowing or excitement to build off of is that we are announcing April Madness. You should be getting an email from your coach if you have not already about a April challenge. All 130 of you athletes, 130 plus, have been divvied among 6 coaches. Okay, us 6 coaches will contact you individually. We all have teams of like 20-ish people, and those 20 people will be competing against the rest of the people in the gym who are on other coaches' teams. So being present on Zoom calls, logging workouts, all kinds of details to come. Read your email. Keep your eyes peeled for that. It should be an exciting month of April leading through this challenge, and culminating at the end of the month with a prize for the winning team and a punishment for the 5 losing coaches. Also going to take this time to shamelessly plug your SMART goals a little bit. I have been getting some awesome feedback from a lot of you. A few shout outs I want to give right now. Jess, Dez, your SMART goals, you're checking in with me, your feedback that you've given me, the pull-up bar that you've built at your house. Awesome work, guys. Keep it up. The rest of you, if you feel like your SMART goal went totally out the window, we can readjust that. I've sent out a few emails and haven't heard back from a lot of you on where you're at with that. For some of you, it just became too overwhelming. Totally understandable, but remember, I'm still here for you on those if it needs to be, okay? So SMART goal progress, let's go. Let's get into today. Handstand skills. We're gonna accumulate 3 total minutes of being upside down today. We're gonna give you 10 minutes to do it. So ready, set, go, 10 minutes on the clock. You have 10 minutes to get in the volume that we're about to talk about here, okay? So the first option you have is a 3-minute handstand hold, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and demo that now. Handstand hold looks like this. Remember, when we're kicking up to the wall, we're getting enough space where we can go up, but we're not running into this thing. We should be a nice distance where we can plant a single leg and get up to the wall. Also want to think about going in with elbows locked out, okay? For me, hands are slightly outside of my shoulders and they're slightly turned out, but that's kind of a preference thing. So it looks like this. I kick up, I'm gonna get my head through, and I'm gonna accumulate as much time or up to 3 minutes total of that upside down. For those of you who are trying to track, we're gonna have the clock running as coaches for you, but good idea maybe to have your phone underneath and just have a running clock and see when you started and when you ended so that you know how much time you're at for those holds. Again, 3 total minutes of that. The next option, or to scale this option, would be to do some shoulder taps, wall walks, or seated presses. I'm gonna go over those now and then we'll talk about the handstand walking. For the shoulder taps, okay? Starting in that wall walk position. Wall walks are gonna also be an option for this, but we're gonna start in that wall walk position. So chest is on the deck. Okay, I'm gonna walk up. And I'm gonna do some shoulder taps. Notice my weight and my hips is shifting. I'm going side to side and I'm tapping the same shoulder, okay? The way that I got there was doing a wall walk. Wall walks are also an option. The way to kind of keep track of these is to kind of, again, that working time from chest on the deck to up on the wall, 3 total minutes of work. So a wall walk looks like this. Key thing to point out is that you're walking up the wall and you're walking back down the wall. If you don't feel comfortable going all the way up to the wall, that's fine. 45-degree angle or less is okay. So, wall walk. I think I accumulated like 10 to 15 seconds there. 3 total minutes of work, okay? Last but not least here, if you're uncomfortable getting up on a wall or just don't have a wall at all, seated shoulder presses. Okay, legs are locked down, my butt's on the floor, my core is nice and tight. I'm picking some dumbbells that are light because I'm gonna be doing a lot of reps in 3 total minutes. Here, straight up overhead. Okay, break them up into sets of, I would say 10 or so. Breathe, rest in between, 3 total minutes there. Okay, that is the first portion of the workout. All right, as for the handstand walk, guys, for those of you who want to practice this and have the adequate space and surroundings to do so, let's talk a little bit about what we're looking on the handstand walk, okay? Same concept or idea of kicking up to the wall. This time you're obviously not kicking up to a wall. So if you have a significant other that is willing to help you out, maybe kind of guide your legs so you don't crash and burn, that's fine. But another key part to handstand walking is finding that space or that fine line of balance. To get there, you want to think about a tight core, tight quads, and tight glutes, pointing those toes up and finding that balance point. Okay, it looks like this. The kick up should look the same. Straight elbows. Finding that point of balance and walking in the space that you have. So after our handstand skill stuff, after working for 10 minutes, we're going to go into a 12-minute AMRAP, okay? 75 double unders, followed by a 50-meter bear crawl. You're gonna need to figure out that distance here. Hopefully you've done it already. If not, we're gonna give you a little bit of time in between, but not much time to get that 50 meters set up. I would treat it as a 25-meter out and back, so you end in the same place, come back to your equipment or to your wall. Last but not least, 10 handstand push-ups. Shoulders are nice and warm. We've been upside down. Now we'll just do the handstand push-ups. Let's go over what those movements look like. With the double under, pretty straightforward. You're gonna make sure that rope passes twice underneath your feet. You're gonna make sure your situation doesn't have you limited. Keeping those hands nice and close, okay? Double unders. We're gonna have the coach give you a 1-minute double under test to see where you're at, to see how many dubs you're gonna do in the workout. If you need to scale the double unders, your coach will help you with that scaling option after the double under test. If you don't have any double unders today, your option for scaling is not down to single unders, it's gonna be penguin taps. Your penguin taps look like this. You're gonna jump, tap your thighs twice. Nice bouncy feet, thinking about landing on the ball of your foot, jumping straight up and down. Not kicking, not jumping with bent legs, but straight up and down for that. Okay, 1-to-1, you'll do 75 of those. For your bear crawl today, you've found out where you're going to walk. I know that's down to the opposite end of my basement and back, actually a little bit further than that. So I kind of have to go down and back and down a little bit more, but that's gonna be up to you to determine where that distance is. For the bear crawl, our butt is gonna be above our shoulders. Our legs are gonna be out to the side, and we're gonna walk with our hands down to your predetermined distance and back for 50 total meters, okay? The last bit of this workout today, those 10 handstand push-ups are technically strict, but you can kip on these. So if you have these, 10 of them per round, you're gonna kick up to the wall like we've been doing already today. Nice locked elbows, or down, okay? And kipping is fine. Just make sure you have a wall to do that. If you do not have a wall for that today, we'll do pike push-ups, okay? So a pike push-up, we did these last week. Remember, we can make these as challenging as we need to. My goal for you is to get as piked as you can so that they are truly a challenge. The top of your head is going to touch. Your knees can be kind of locked out, but the more you bend them, the more you're going to scale this movement. So starting here, my knees are nice and bent. This would be an easy option. Notice I'm not as piked. If I bring my knees more locked and my hands in closer, it becomes a lot more difficult. Touching the top of that head and locking out. You'll go 1 for 1 there for 10 total, okay? Your total score today is the accumulated rounds plus reps that you get in 12 minutes, okay? Let's talk about the warm-up today. Any odd object you might have. Fortunately, I have a plate in my basement. We're going to do some plate jumps, or maybe it looks like Friday's workout and we do some lateral hops. Either way, you're gonna hop for 40 total times on and off. So it's a plate 40 times, or a dumbbell 1, 2, 40 times. And although we have seated shoulder press in the handstand stuff, we're gonna use these as part of the warm-up today as well. You're gonna give me 15 strict presses from the floor. You're gonna go through that 2 times for a warm-up.